Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 29th Annual Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host, Carol Kahn. We are coming to you live from Yavapai College. Yavapai College is one of our sponsors, along with Northern Arizona Healthcare, the Kling Family Foundation, Golden Sign Gallery, BMO Bank, and the City of Sedona. We also would like to thank our hoteliers, our restaurateurs, and our long list of sponsors and volunteers who have participated in this year's festival. We're truly grateful and thank you very much for participating with us. And joining me now are the filmmakers, Beth and Lee from Rally Caps. Very nice to meet you. And we were just sitting here talking for a minute. You two met in 2019 at the Sedona Film Festival. So tell me about that.
So 2019, we both had short films. Mine was called Horizon, and hers was called Escape.
Escape, sorry.
Is it with the oh my
Yeah.
god!
It's okay.
I actually practiced before
No,
it came
it's
on. Of course, I
okay. No,
messed it
it's
up.
it's a French word. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
getting
valid-
better.
It's okay.
At some point, I'm gonna get it perfectly, like get it all down. But yeah, we met indirectly. She had shot, her film, and well, we showed at the same showcase, and her film won. We won't go too far into that.
Are you
No hard
jealous?
A little bit.
Just a little.
No, but no, I saw her film eventually, and I was just blown away by her work.
Awesome.
And I reached out to her shortly after, and I wanted to work with her on some project, and eventually, Rally Caps and that opportunity, came about.
Now, how did that work? Because you're in New York, she's in Indianapolis. So how did the two of you connect to get together? Zoom?
We were
Yeah.
both in LA. I was.
We were both in LA
Yeah,
at the time.
I moved to Colorado eventually, but we were both in LA at the time.
Yeah, and I'm in LA now. But
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
Yeah, so tell us about the film. Tell us about Rally Caps.
So Rally Caps is based on a book of the same name, and it's about a young kid who breaks his nose in tryouts. It's a freak accident. The coach is swinging the bat, and it comes out of his hands, breaks his nose, and he's really traumatized. And his mom sends him to camp that summer, and he meets a deaf catcher, and he inspires him to get over his fear, and they form a baseball team on the camp.
And it's based on a true story, is that correct?
Yeah, written by father-daughter team Stephen J. Cutler and Jody Cutler.
And Beth, tell me about your participation in the film and what did the film inspire you?
well, Lee reached out to me about a month before filming. I came on pretty late, but I read the script and I was immediately connected to it. It's a character-driven script, and I'm always excited to get involved with those. And it really reminded me of the films I grew up watching. I think we grew up watching a lot of the same baseball movies, like A League of Their Own, and
Yeah.
Sandlot, and it just felt like a classic movie that I would love to watch and love to be a part of. It was pretty much an immediate yes for me once I read the script.
So, talking about baseball films, because some of them do have like a similar theme and stuff like that. How did you make your film a little bit different?
That's a great question, because she mentioned all those evergreen films, and that definitely was an inspiration. I always wanted to do a Sandlot type of movie, those 90s classic, baseball kid family films. But, you have to differentiate yourself from those. And I think that, what I extracted from the book that I thought, because that's a backdrop. When you're thinking about kids and summer and baseball, that's all backdrop, I think that what attracted me to it was what I extracted from the book was the anxiety with Carson. I'm sorry, with Jordy. Carson Veneer is the actor who plays Jordy, and that's something I had done. I that was personal to me because it's something that I endured as a kid, and I think a lot of people can connect to that, and so that's really it's a personal character-driven piece, encapsulated in this backdrop of summer camp and baseball.
And typically in taking something from a book, right? Like you hear this all the time. It's like people are like, "Oh, I like the book better. Oh, I like the film better." Did you ever enter into your mind like, "Oh my gosh, I got to make this better than the book," or did that even come into play? Do you worry about it, or what?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely a challenge because the language of a book is much different than a film, and you can have chapters that explain a character's thoughts, in a book. But in a movie, you get like, you kind of have to express that in an image, right? So it's just very different. And I think a lot of filmmakers that are adapting books, they might be working on their own, but I kind of, I worked with the writers from a very early stage. And so it was a collaborative process to, they saw every, draft, and they were very open to the idea of creating, a movie from their book and not trying to put their book, literally on screen. And that really healthy, adaptation process, I think, spoke volumes when we got to the final product. So yeah, I was never, stressed about it.
I felt a lot of pressure because I knew it came from such a personal place. It was all internal pressure, but I was like, I have to do a good job for these people. Yeah.
I know, it's crazy because, and then you also have like the critics, right? The people that are going to compare it or read the book or watched the movie. I mean, you see that all the time, so you have to deal with that in as well. But I was just wondering, from a standpoint of taking it from the book, if you ever like really, if that enters your mind, or you just do really what you want to do with it.
Every story you tell has to be, true to itself, right? And so there's a lot of, things that you pull off, a lot of decisions that have to be made, because the book is not just about one thing. There's different themes in it, and you have to kind of I think you have to extract the one theme that means something to you and tie everything else around it. So everything has to be working around this one core theme.
Mm-hmm. And also, I just lost the question that I wanted to ask you. Is about the film. Being that you both of you had shorts, and this is a feature. What was the difference for you? Was it different, or working on a film like this in comparison to what you've done in the past?
I mean, I'd say the only difference is the length of time you have. I feel like a feature is just a bunch of shorts combined into one. Other than that, just the scope, I'd say.
Yeah, that's perfectly said, because like people just assume that if it's a short film, there's like less pressure, but it's just, short films are just pressurized into 2 or 3, shooting days or whatever it is. And a feature film is just a longer version of that. So she's exactly right. That's kind of my experience.
Sometimes it's more pressure on a short because,
yeah,
you don't have as much backup,
Right.
plan.
Typically, you don't have all the bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm. And talk about the cast. How did you get the cast all involved in this particular film?
Yeah, I had reached out to my someone I knew in L.A., a producer named Amy Williams, and she knew a couple like TV actors and stuff, and we wanted to fill the Nora and Pop role with some recognizable faces, and we were very low budget at that time. And long story short, she just really pushed for a bigger name. She's she kind of pushed for me to make a cast list, and literally like we did a little like search on IMDb Pro, and Amy Smart and Judd were our first names, and they were the first people we brought the script to, formally.
Mm-hmm. Was that
And
surprising
accepted.
to you? I mean, to go and to find someone like Judge Hirsch to actually do the film. Was that easy, hard, or?
Well, you always hear how hard it is.
I know.
And we've me and my wife have been developing projects for like years, going back to LA. So, sometimes you're in development hell for like, could be forever. And so it is really tough. This one came together pretty quickly. They got it to the actors. They read it. It was a yes right away, and then it was just about getting dates. So this is just kind of how it happens. It was just meant to be.
Yeah.
No, I was super excited. I mean, I grew up watching both of them, and they're amazing in person. Like, I just feel like it was such a treat to like just be in their presence, and they're so down to earth.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I know they're going to be here later today, and then your film is going to be screened today as well. So it's just an exciting day. And I want to say that filmmakers really like that we've met during the film festival. Everybody's talking about it because like we've been getting texts from people. Oh, you've got to see Relic Caps. I mean, so everybody's talking about it outside of the film festival as well as inside the film festival. So I'm excited for you both for today especially.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, and how can people find out about the film other than coming to the screening today?
You can go to the website, which is www.rallycapsthemovie, and then the social media handle, which is
Rally Caps movie.
Rallycaps movie.
Alley Caps the movie.
Rallycaps the movie.
See, now I
And then we're
don't feel
also
so
on
bad. Especially when they all yell at me for screwing up the hashtags.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. Thank you. See? Well, thank you both. And then your film today at the Sedona Performing Arts Center at what time?
4.
4:30.
4.
4.
Yeah.
4 p.m. All right.
Okay.
4 p.m. Sedona Performing Arts Center, Rally Caps. So be there. And thank you both so much for being with us today. And I look forward to seeing you later on this afternoon.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
And don't forget to follow us live on Facebook Live. Our hashtags are SIFF23 and Sedona Film Fest 23. And we'll be back with more from the Sedona International Film Festival after this.